The evil within. Spoopy. It's a good game. I don't know if I mentioned it. I did the Evil Within 2, but in this game, either way, I got this game originally on the PS3 when it came out at midnight at GameStop at 12 a.m. in the morning. And it's the one and only game I ever went out of my way to get at a midnight release. I just knew there was something special about it. Because I've been a fan of Resident Evil ever since I picked up RE4. I was like, ooh, hold on, it's like a Japanese dev game. Kind of a really good competitor to RE, and I just had to have it. I wanted to play it so bad. I was really into horror games. Probably back then more than I am now. Well, about the same. Obviously, like, I've always been into all kinds of games, but horror always stood out to me quite a bit. Which is understandable. Yeah, I'll never forget that night going in, parking my car. Could have been early 20s, 18, 19, I don't even know. It was, wow. I didn't even start driving until about that time, so I was like driving for who knows how long at the time, and pretty sure it was my own car too, unless I was using like my parents or something. But no, because by the time I started driving, I had my own car. It was just so cool rolling up at because the GameStop where I went to was in a plaza next to a grocery store. Like, everything is closed. There's the one place that was open with its lights on. There's people there. It just felt so cool. It was like going to like a cult or like a weird secret hidden party, or it's kind of like how you would assume like going to like a rave would kind of be in a weird way, like an underground exclusive. And this is when I was still getting physical copies and going into GameStop and regularly and going to stores and getting stuff for retail and getting used games, trading them in and out, getting a couple other knickknacks at the store. Basically, this game just has a story to it, and that's what I love. It's not just a game to me. It's something that really stood out. One of my most memorable moments that had to do with gaming, at least, and no regrets. Yeah, playing this again now. I haven't played it in so many years. And damn, it's hard. It's a hard game. Like, just playing it, like, it's called The Evil Within. If the word evil's in it, you can't mess around. But on top of that, it's a Bethesda thing. Like, dude, this in the Doom remakes and like all the modern Dooms, the modern Wolfensteins, they are not easy games, but they're so damn good. But they're all arguably as hard, like, in their own ways, but I would say this is probably harder of the three. It's just so, like, Resident Evil's very casual, chill. It can be, depending on how you play it, but this game in general is just so fucking goddamn difficult. Like, every 5 minutes there's something killing you, there's something trying to kill you. You are literally in a nightmare, psychological mind fuck warfare. I don't know. I still don't even really know. And then playing Evil Within 2 more recently, once or twice, whatever it was. And coming back to this game all these years later. Yeah, jeez, dude. Evil Within 2 is so much easier and better quality, better graphics, better better gameplay. I mean, arguably better story too. I like here that they focused on the protagonist a lot more, which is pretty typical. And I love Ruvik, the main bad guy. He's dressed in all white, he's in the hood, he looks really cool. Kind of looks like my PlayStation avatar. I just thought he was always a really cool villain. Like, he's just pure evil. Like, I look at him right up there with Voldemort and Darth Vader and like all these big baddies and Sauron. Yeah, he's really cool. I like that too, focused on the protagonist a little bit more, Sebi. Kind of a lot more character development with him and his background, family, blah blah blah. But here I don't know, I thought it was really clever that they focused on Ruvik more and then kind of went into Sebastian. And whether that's typical or not, that's what made me like, between this and 2, it just makes me like the whole franchise even more, because playing this again recently, it reminded me of like how good this really is. It's a lot more underground, underrated, less, you know, less mainstream Resident Evil. Very Japanese, you know, designed and inspired, and obviously with this complete westernized overhaul. Yeah, I just love the imagery, the symbology, I really don't like psychological horror games. I think they're kind of annoying. I don't know what's worse as far as that goes, like 1 or 2, but man, you're teleporting constantly, you're winding up who knows where, there's screen filters all over the place. All the things I hate as a gamer, motion blur, film grain, it's literally in this game. Camera wobble. I think the only thing you can actually turn off is the grain, but which is something. But it is a very PS3 classic era, old style. It's just rough though, like playing it today with modern consoles and monitors and all these things. It's just, man, it was frustrating. And after I just got done playing Doom 3, then I go straight to this. I'm like, what is wrong with me? But I played this for Halloween, and I thought this was the only game that I had that I was willing to play at all or get back into or replay, whatever, that was worthy of Halloween, specifically Halloween Eve, Halloween night. Even though the game took me about like a business week to finish anyway, it was so rough. Like one night I was just tired and I had to get off early. Game took me a long time because I kept dying. I don't like to talk about difficulties too much, but I did just play in normal. You only get easy and normal at first. And I chose normal because I'm like, hey, you know, I played this before. Yes, it's been years. I had to get used to the controls again and the graphics, but I didn't start regretting picking normal until like halfway through. I was like, oh god, dude, Jesus. Yeah, the cutscenes were good.
Sorry, detectives. I know you're just coming off a case, but I'm afraid we're gonna have to make a detour.
Sounds serious. Is it a riot?
A call went out just before I picked you up. Said it was multiple homicides. Half a dozen units already on scene.
131, please advise.
Hey, maybe it's the ghost of that doctor who went schizo and chopped up all those patients.
Yeah, I kind of wish I just picked casual, because I think I just would have had a little bit of an easier, better time getting back into the game and just getting through it, moving on to the next game, doing what I gotta do, keeping up a good pace, progression. Man, the game just... It's just constantly screwed me the whole way through. There was so little of it I remember being... Like, yeah, you might walk around for 5 minutes. You're looting, you're exploring, you're moving on, point A to point B, whatever. Looking around. But dude, beyond that, it's literally, if it's not the world killing you, it's enemies, just constant enemy encounters. It's freaking insanity. I tried so hard not to rage quit or get off early or just stop playing completely, play something else. I wanted to finish so bad. Because of how biased I am towards the game, but I'm like, dude, I am not having a good time, man. I am just eating shit here, dude. The game kept fucking me so bad. Just making me its little bitch. I was like, fuck, dude, oh my god. The world killed me more than the enemies did. Or about half and half. I can't even tell. It's literally traps everywhere, just... I found it. I'm such a good game tester. I can find 1,000 ways to die in a game. I will find it. Oh, I barely got hit. Oh, I had 1% HP. Oh, last hit. Oh, I fell off. Oh, it's always something. And I'm like, dude, can I just get a break? Can I get 5 minutes of peace? I wanted it to be done so bad. The game kept dragging on, like... Halfway through, I was like, when the hell is this gonna be over, dude? Why is it still going? I'm so ready for it to be done. I hate every game does that. Depending on the game, it's like, okay, it's dragging on fine, but this game, it not only does that, but it's just torturing and pain and suffering the entire time. It's like, dude, I get it, Bethesda, relax, chill, it's a hard game, you don't fuck around, it's challenging, whatever, fine, cool. Man, I was so relieved when it was done. I was like, dude, thank God. And by even saying of how shitty it was, I'm boosting its ego. I know there's plenty of tryhards out there and gigachads and psychos, dude, and sociopaths, that masochists, whatever you want to freaking label people. You guys are insane. Why do this? Do you need help? Do you need a hug? What's wrong with you? Good God, man. This was so bad for my mentality and my... Like, I already got enough stuff going on as it is, or whatever, in real life, and... this and that. It's just, when I play this, I'm not happy. I'm not having a good time. As much as I love the game, I love the artwork, I love the designs, I like the brutality. I don't mind a challenge. I played it, I beat it, I did what I had to do. I didn't quit, I didn't change difficulties, I followed through. I mean, shit, we're not even talking about hard mode or Akuma at this point. Akume, whatever the hell. This game could be a lot worse, and that to me is just disturbing as hell, because, like, dude, just no. Just stop it. Please. And there's barely a story there. I mean, there's somewhat is, I guess. I mean, you feel for the bad guy. You know, your stereotypical, atypical, standard, default bullshit. What you would expect. But it was just hard to be hard, like... And it makes me remember, like, I love these games so much. They're so good. Evil Within, Doom, Wolfenstein, but my god, they're some of the hardest games I've ever played. They're so savaged. People always talk about Dark Souls and bullshit. I'm like, dude, you guys are fucking pussy. Like, this shit is seriously just pure nonsense. This isn't even like, okay, oh, you know, I was redoing a lot of sections, bosses multiple times. Granted, in a fucked up way, I enjoyed every minute of it because I'm like, hey, I do like this. Like, I'm not playing it for nothing. But the hoops I had to go through, the things I had to endure just to move on and just simply play the damn thing and complete it and beat it. That's just what I do. When I start a game, I will fight with every bone in my body to finish the goddamn thing, because I don't go out of my way to do much of anything else like that. So I'm like, hey, at the very least, man, just let me complete it. I'm happy. Wow. It's just, man. Is it worth it? Yeah, because it is so good and it does look so good, and just everything it has to offer, the theme, it's very dark and raw and gritty, and I think 2 is a little more fun and entertaining and exciting and interesting and all these things. It's definitely more my playstyle. There's somewhat of an open world aspect, but you go here and it's pure chaos. It's so self-destructive. Even just playing this, it makes you question your life choices and like, why am I here? What am I doing? Why bother? Why? This is what I choose to do with my time? It was just sad and just felt pathetic and wrong. Like, something was just so off. Like, me and this game go back so far, and like all these things, you know, it's, you know, I love Japan, I love Japanese people, I love the gore and the blood and the horror and the survival aspect of it, and it doesn't mess around, and it really keeps you in check. It makes you into a good solid gamer. Like, to play this it's not easy. I ran into someone recently that she told me that she just quit like towards the end or something. I don't blame her. I almost did multiple times recently. I tried so hard not to. I was like, dude, I was trying so hard not to yell and scream and break something, and because I play late at night and there's like people sleeping and neighbors, and but I'm like, oh god, dude, if this was like during the day and it was chilling, dude, all by myself, or in my like an actual house or some, I don't know, I'd just be fucking raging, dude. Ah! And it's funny because some people might listen to this exact thing and be like, oh my god, this is the game for me. Wow. Like, if someone is seeking to go straight into the fire, adrenaline junkie, you know, YOLO, trying to get their fix and feel alive, chances are they've probably already played this. Like, this is just one of those games you are going to come across in that perspective. And if you haven't known about this yet, and you're one of those people, I don't know what you're doing, dude, living under a rock or something, but what kept me going is it wasn't the challenge or this or that, it was just the fact that, like, I like the game. I like the characters, I like the enemies, I like where it came from, the origin, where this game natively, the country that it was developed, or whatever the hell the specifics are there, you know. It's weird because it's like a very Western Eastern kind of package deal. I like the gameplay. Yeah. Wasn't easy, but I did it. It felt good. I just don't get off on the whole, like, wow, I did it, mission accomplished, goal met. I've just never really been oriented in that way. It's not how I work or function. It's not how my brain thinks. It's not me. That's not who I am. You know, to me, this is just another game. Like, I like it, but I don't love it, or I don't know, it's gaming, it's kind of whatever, but yeah, I mean, if I gave a shit about games more or less, this is definitely up there. Just because I can kind of, like, I love the noir aspect, the style, the fashion, there's just so many good things about it. It's just the only thing I hated was just how goddamn hard it was. Like, most games that are normal, easy, casual, very light, whatever you want to call it, it varies every game, obviously. Like, this game in normal mode may as well be hard mode. That's literally how fucked up it is. Honestly, and I thought about it too while I was playing. I was like, dude, even if I did casual, man, I still don't really think that would change a whole lot. Maybe the enemies might be forgiving, but just the way that the game is designed, you're gonna die. You gotta know what to do. You gotta figure shit out, dude. There's, aside from the enemies and the combat, there's the environment as well, dude. The environment will fuck you just as bad, if not worse, than the enemies. And normally, difficulty usually only has to do with the enemies. Period. We're not even talking... Like, dude, this is like a... Path of Pain... Like, everything I know that's hard in gaming is like... This game is like the embodiment of all of that in one. It has pieces of just every frustrating possible thing, any mechanic in any game ever, in this one freaking game. At least with a lot of games that I play, even normal's doable. My issue is, I don't mind if a game is like that, like here and there, like when it actually counts, and make it memorable, make it like, oh, I remember that one part that was so hard. That's just this game the entire way. It's not even like, oh, yeah, that boss sucked, or, you know, whatever. That section was terrible. Like, anyone can... It's something to have a conversation about with someone. Like, oh, this part's very iconic and known to be hard, or, you know, very unforgiving, or confusing, or difficult to figure out. Whatever it is. A puzzle... There's no puzzles, thankfully, and that's why this is so damn hard, because I feel like instead of puzzles and combat, they just made it all the combat. Or... You're dying all the time, no matter what. At least with, like, Resident Evil, there's a good pacing, it's slow, you can take your time, go at your own speed, there's puzzles here and there, you can kind of... Just breathe a little bit, some breathing room, some... wiggle room. With this game, there's none of that. It's trying so hard to prove a damn point that it's trying too hard. It's going too far. But what are you gonna do? Yell at the game? Are you gonna tell it to chill out? Dude, this game is like someone having a bitch fit, dude. You don't tell it to cool off, because it's not going to. In fact, it's gonna get even more angry with you. Like, oh, you're telling me to chill, huh? Well, guess what? I'm gonna be even more of a dick to you. Man, it's one of the roughest games I've played recently, that's for damn sure. I don't know. I didn't even consciously think about going from Doom to this, basically. I played one other game, like an online game, for like a day in between. Oh, God. But, you know, hey, it was a good way to end off Spoopy Month. It was a good way to finish. I mean, yeah, the game took a little bit longer than I would have liked it to, but I didn't really think about the whole dying over and over part either. I was like, I don't remember this game being very long, 2 or 3 days. And I'm doing like 8-hour-ish sessions each day too, so I mean, holy crap. But it's the whole having to redo a section that could take. I know I didn't keep track of like times, or there's one time where I swear it took like 45 minutes to do. Oh my god. Then at the end of the playthrough, I died under 100 times. That's a lot, dude. For a game that's not really supposed to be known as like a dying simulator, like per se. For me, that's a lot. Like I've played this before, I know what I'm doing. It was hard to get back into it first, but obviously I got used to it over time. Come back the second day, no problem. I was like, dude, that's a lot, man. You know, even like 50 times is kind of like, okay, it's not really too much. Or I'm glad it wasn't over 100, but it was just under. I was like, damn. I got so pushed so many times to the point where you have to find it in you, your balance, your power, your chi, and your chakra. Once you get pissed off enough and you get pushed to the breaking point, dude, that's when you gotta really double down and, you know, hey, I don't want to do this a 10th time. I'm gonna guarantee get it done now. Like, this is the run type. I don't normally get pushed that bad. Most of the time I just try to take it easy, take it cool, relax, chill, breathe, steady heartbeat. This game just brought all this like all this blackness out of me. It just ugh. It puts you in such a dark place. Like, you're just so mad and angry and upset and frustrated, and I like tried not to cry a couple times. It's so bad. You know, I was just bitching about how hard Doom 3 was, man. When I play and talk about this game, oh my god. Doom 3 was a lot of bullshit, like, you know, between every single encounter, and oh, I lost health, I gained it back, oh, ammo, whatever, I don't know. But this was just dying and dying and dying, getting hit constantly for every little stupid thing. Every one thing led to another, it's a giant domino effect. You hit one guy and you try to do melee, everything that you do, you get punished for it. You try to be conservative, you try to be efficient, you try to rush, like whatever you feel like you should do, you gotta do the opposite. I don't know, like for some people. It just won't be, it's not on your side at all. It doesn't give a fuck about you, dude. It's not holding your hand. Whatever, dude. Yeah, I like Seb, I like Joseph, I like Kidman. I didn't ever really like Leslie. Some characters, some main characters. And yeah, unfortunately Seb got kind of swept under the rug. I like his voice acting, it feels good playing as him. He's a good, you know, frontline character. We just didn't really get much out of the guy, which, you know, I guess that was more planned for 2. Which is fine. I'm kind of glad they actually did it that way. Maybe not like, oh hey, here's the guy you're playing and then we'll introduce you to like a big baddie. I think that's pretty typical in like a sequel type deal. Yeah, I don't know, some other little basic stuff like, yeah, there's different levels and exploring and this and that and maps and I don't know, your basic bullshit you'd expect. Different guns and abilities and skills and a lot of good, it's very cinematic, very immersive. Well, it's a third-person game, but I don't know, it's good. It's not... That's what I hate. I can only the hard part of it all is like overpowering just the game in general, like what it has to offer, and I think it's such a shame. I would have rather focused more on the story than just how goddamn hard the game was. Like, story-wise, or the game in general, there's not really much to go off of. The only thing to really get out of this is just how hard it was, and it's kind of, for someone who likes single-player story games, it didn't really. Oh man. Yeah, the game's good. Evil Within. Or wait, is it? Is it that? I don't know.